Start. Here's my guitar. What's up, everyone? Happy Saturday. I'm going to talk about a topic that I was just reading on Instagram, a tweet from John Mayers. He tweeted about the boss's $500 million publishing deal that he just did with Sony. And he said, innovator and disruptor sells startup for $500 million. John Mayer's obviously joking about this, that it's a startup company. Bruce Springsteen's publishing. Before we get started, due to popular release or to popular requests and Christmas coming up next week, I'm bringing back the Beato bundle of all my educational products. And it's going to be, you go to beatoholidays.com, and that's the website that you can find it on. Or you can go to any of the stores and it'll go there. And a lot of people wrote to me and said that they had they wanted to purchase it, or they tried to purchase it late, and I got so many emails about it. I was like, okay, I'm going to bring it back through the whole week after Christmas, actually, between now and the 31st. So if you want to get a Christmas present for someone, get my ear training program, which has got video content. It's got the ear training program with it. Goes over how to do everything. You want to be able to figure out songs fast. You know my whole spiel. It's got my Beato book, which is my music theory textbook, basically. It's got my Quick Lessons guitar program on it. That's over 5.5 hours of video guitar content, tablature, guitar profiles, and then it's got 90 PDF transcription PDFs. It's like 200-page PDF or so. So altogether, it's just you can all just buy it as a bundle, holiday bundle. So anyways, so there was an article I was just reading about Prince's music. It says Music Fern. This has just happened very recently. I think this is from this week. Music firm owns half of Prince's estate after purchasing interest from siblings. Okay, I got to put my glasses on. Sorry. It says the music firm Primary Wave now controls half of Prince's estate after purchasing the interest from 3 of the musician's heirs. Okay, so Prince died without a will, 57 years old. So 3 of his, his full sister, who else? His half sibling purchased 100% of Omar Baker's inheritance. So 3 of his heirs sold their publishing, and 3 of his heirs have kept his publishing. Okay, so and let's see here. Since his death, Prince's family has been embroiled in a bitter legal battle over the rights to his music and money, since his estate's worth more than $100 million. Sharon Nelson, a half-sister to Prince, along with siblings Noreen and John, controls the other half of his estate. Primary Wave made offers to Sharon, Noreen, and John, but they wouldn't sell. And there's a quote, I'm not sure who it's from. It says, "We'll never sell out," said the outlet. I guess this is whoever their spokesman was. "We know the prize." So Bruce Springsteen, $500 million, Bob Dylan, $400 million, Paul Simon, Stevie Nicks, Neil Young, Sting are all selling their publishing. Why are they selling their publishing? Well, as you can see, if you leave it to the people's heirs, this is what happens. I mean, all you need to do is look at estates that own publishing, where the family owns the publishing, like, for example, Jimi Hendrix. And you can make your judgments on whether or not you think that they're doing a good job keeping their legacy alive. I mean, this is all, this is all obviously based on opinion. Who's better to administer publishing? And this is an honest question here. Who's better to administer it? A publishing company that does this for a living, that knows how to collect it, that can go and say, okay, we're going to give the rights to this car commercial, or let people on YouTube make videos about it, and we'll just collect the money from it through the demonetization or monetization of their videos. Or we're going to just block people from doing it, and not sell it to anything, and just get your publishing from streaming, from whatever record sales there are, and make your money that way. Bruce Springsteen's 72 years old. Bob Dylan is 80. I think Bob Dylan's 80 now. Are they going to make $400 million, $500 million between now and the end of their lives? I mean, probably not, right? I mean, I don't see how. But obviously these publishing companies have made the calculus that these are definitely worth the money, and it's worth more than that. There's another article here that says, that's from Forbes. This is from December 13th, so a couple days ago. And it says, many in the music industry are taken back by the prices being paid, and some are questioning the motive behind many artists as artists sell what must be their most cherished asset. It's true that we may be in a publishing bubble, and prices may never be this high again, but aging artists have other things on their mind besides their legacy and their families. In a post to the Lefsetz letter, those of you who know Bob Lefsetz, I was on Bob's podcast. Bob's awesome. Let's see. Publisher Randall Wixon pointed out that there's a steady long-term interest. Yeah, excuse me for being a bad reader here. The steady long-term income from music publishing is sometimes overlooked when it comes to the prospect of a giant payday. I don't know a single person that sold their catalog that hasn't eventually regretted it, he said in a post. After paying the attorney fees and capital gains taxes, then getting just a small 0.75 return of the windfall that sits idly in a money market fund. I mean, I'm not sure if these people are putting it in a money market fund. On the windfall that sits idly in the, let's see, it may not look good in hindsight of selling what is usually an appreciating asset. It's about estate planning. Well, mostly overlooked is the artist may be looking more to estate planning than actual cash, than the actual cash the catalog might generate. Okay. First and foremost for the artist is that the sale will entrust his or her songs to a dedicated music professional that truly cares about the artist's work rather than to an inexperienced family member not all that interested in the time it takes to administer the catalog. Sometimes an estate looks more for the cash flow rather than an artist's legacy. Decisions that are based more on revenue than the artist's merit of the songs themselves have devalued many a catalog, not to mention going against the wishes of the artists. Selling the catalog while the artist is alive can avoid any potential infighting amongst family members after the artist has passed, avoiding the potential tabloid fodder and saving legal bills, like the Frank Zappa estate comes to mind from here. And then it says, many of the popular artists currently selling are in their 70s. The influx of cash could enable them to embark on that one big project of a lifetime while there's still time. Okay, and it talks about how you can't spend the royalties. Okay, well, these people that are selling it are already worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Okay, so they're not, it's not like they're sweating, that they're really sweating this anyways, right? So why do it? This is kind of an interesting question. I talk about this with a lot of my friends that are in the music business, and some of them will ask me, well, let's say somebody wanted to buy your YouTube catalog, buy my videos, right? Let's say a publisher decides that, oh, well, YouTubers, we're going to buy all Mr. Beast's catalog, okay? How much is it worth? How many views does he have? Is it an appreciating asset? We're going to buy, whoever's, if you're making things that are based on current the topics of the day as opposed to evergreen content, they're not going to be probably worth as much, right? You would think. But would I trust somebody with my videos? I mean, I'm not selling my videos. I don't even do brand deals. Would I sell my videos to somebody, to some company that would have total control, that could put them in put any ads they want in them? Probably not. No, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't even do brand deals anyways, right? And one of the other things is that you make a video, right? And then I go sell something in my video. I say, okay, and I do an ad read for some company, whatever it is. You know what the companies are that people do ad reads for. And then that ad read is in there forever unless you edit it out. Where does the actual unedited video sit? If it's not on YouTube, where does it go? Does it matter if it's on my website? No. I mean, who's going to go to my website and discover it? Nobody. This things. I mean, the reason that people are here watching my live stream now is they've discovered my channel either through the algorithm suggesting my videos or through their friends saying, "Hey, check out Rick Beato. If you like music things, you like song breakdowns, you like." Talk about the music business. You like talk about whatever. You like top 10, top 20 countdown lists. You like videos on music theory, whatever. Go watch Rick Beato. So would I entrust my content to someone else? No, I wouldn't. And am I going to, do I want to have these ads be in my videos? Yeah, there's ads that are in videos that, are the ads, the skippable ads and things like that are in YouTube videos and everything. But I'm talking about actually having brand sponsors in the video where you actually do an ad read, where you take 45 seconds or 30 seconds or a minute of your video and do that. Okay, so getting back to this, do these artists care about their legacy? Is legacy important? This is even more of an interesting topic here. And before I go on, before I forget again, all my things are on sale. I'm doing my Beato bundle here. If you go to Beato, to the website, beatoholidays.com, these are for all the people that wrote into me that were mad that I stopped the sale after the Black Friday sale. I'm going to do this till the 31st. Buy it for a Christmas present or whatever kind of present for your friends or for yourselves. You get all of my things, my ear training course, my Beato book, my Quick Lessons Pro guitar course, my PDF bundle. I mean, there's just a tremendous amount, like everything that I've ever made. All of my educational products are all together in one bundle that you can buy. So the other question is, does legacy even matter anymore? Honestly, this is a thing that I've thought about asking on some of the interviews I've done. I thought about asking Sting this. I thought about asking Pat Metheny this. I thought about, I wonder about this, but I don't feel like it's my place to ask those kind of questions. I asked Sting what he'd like his legacy to be. I didn't ask him if he thinks it matters. And this is an interesting question, right? Because it kind of comes down to things like that article that I made a video about the guy that said in 200 years, no one's going to mention Paul Simon. Nobody will ever talk about Paul Simon. This is a ridiculous article that came out. When was that? Last year, Billy? Remember that? And they said no one will talk about Joni Mitchell, Neil Young. He listed all the people. The only people they're going to talk about are Bob Dylan and the Beatles. And I said that anybody that knows what people are going to do 200 years from now and says it is kind of is a fool. I think. I mean, how do you know what's going to happen in 200 years? What people's tastes are going to be? That's just ridiculous. I don't try to predict the future on that. I mean, I can make some guesses based on what has happened in the past. The example I used the time I talked about it last year was that 200 years ago in 1821, nobody really knew who J.S. Bach was. They didn't. I mean, people like Beethoven knew, Mozart, Haydn, people that played classical piano that had teachers, they played the Well-Tempered Clavier, they knew those pieces. But the general public didn't know who Bach was, and Bach went on to become the most important composer ever, honestly. I mean, come on, I asked the question to two people. Pat Metheny, here's the quote. Compared to Bach, we all suck. Sting, I study Bach every day. I mean, that's there you go. Right there. And two of the musicians that I asked about that's what they said. So you would never have known that in 1821, that Bach in 2021 or in the 20th century was going to be the most famous composer. So to try and guess who people are going to talk about, I mean, I think it's ridiculous to, think about who people are going to talk about, unless there's intervening things. For example, this Get Back documentary really has given the Beatles a boost. The Beatles' legacy. I had someone call me this week, a country songwriter that I wrote with years ago. And he said, I don't know if you remember me. I watch your YouTube channel. And he said, and of course I remembered him. And we talked on the phone, and he said to me, I grew up in Texas and I never really listened to the Beatles. This guy has multiple number ones, country music, but he never really listened to the Beatles, okay? And he was blown away by the documentary because he's a songwriter. And I can see why he would be blown away to see these people create this stuff in real time, because he's sat in a million songwriting sessions. And he knows how difficult it is to come up with stuff. And he talked about how songwriting has changed in country music since I was going up there to try to write songs, which I only tried for about 4 months, from December of 2013 to March of 2014. And I gave up because I was only able to go up about 3 days a week. My kids were small. I couldn't go up there, right? And it was pointless to try and compete and write songs that had to be 4 chords, and the whole deal. This is when the bro country thing was in full swing. But country music has really changed, according to him, for the worse. And I want to go up to Nashville, and I'm going to make a video where I interview songwriters about how country songwriting has changed in the last 10 years, because I think it'll be fascinating. I think you guys will find it fascinating. I sat in sessions. Typically, it would be 3 songwriters. We get together in a room at Warner Chapel or at Sony ATV. I'm signed to Sony Publishing, and so, but they would have writers from all different publishing companies get together. Usually, you'd get writers from 3 different publishing companies would get together, and they would get in a room. You'd have a digital piano there. People bring their guitars and their laptops. You got anything? I would have a track typically prepared where I'd have a drum thing. Like I'd create a track, and they called me a track guy, but I would just create a music track, and I'd have a couple melody ideas. And then these guys would do we'd work on the lyrics together, but they'd have the top line, as you call it now, but the chorus, the hook. Somebody would say, what do you think of this? Or I'd play maybe 5 music pieces. And they'd say, oh, I like that one. That's really good. Let's work on that, right? And then I just keep playing it, and then they'd say, what do you think about this? And we try and come up with a melody. We try and fit lyrics to melody like you would do. But it would be a one-day project. I'd come back here. I'd get a singer to come in. We'd sing the melody, and that would be the demo. I would mix it, and that would be the demo. So that's the way it used to be, and it's nothing like that anymore because all these new people have come into Nashville. We'll talk about that. Like I said, this is a very different video, but it kind of applies to the same thing about the importance of this, about how important is the legacy to these artists at this point. You know, are some of the people thinking, you know what? Nobody's going to know us in 20 years, or it doesn't even matter. If I'm gone, who cares if anybody knows my band? Does it matter? Or are they thinking, you know, I don't want my kids fighting over this music. So I'm going to sell it now while I'm alive. And I'm going to have, you know, the boss sold it to Sony, right? He's been on Columbia Records his whole career, I guess. I think. Pretty sure. Maybe not. Maybe it was on Arista first. I can't remember what the boss is on. You guys can look it up. But he's, you know, this is a sale within Sony. It's kind of interesting, right? So they know how much his catalog is worth. And he weighed the different options and decided that it would be smart to sell it. So you got to know all these deals are different. You know, maybe that, who knows? Maybe if the catalog doesn't make X amount of dollars in the first year, that it gets deferred. Maybe it's just $500 million right off the bat. But you don't know. All these deals, when people throw this stuff out there, they don't really know what the particulars of the deals are. And every deal, I guarantee you, is completely different. Maybe they don't sell all the songs. Maybe they keep a few of the songs. Maybe they've sold half their catalog already, right? There's one interesting spot there's a lot of interesting spots in the Get Back movie where this guy comes from Northern Songs and was talking to Paul McCartney about publishing. And Paul was very, you just have to see his whole demeanor change when he's talking to the guy. So this is a touchy subject, but for me, it's fascinating. And what people do with your name after you're gone, you know, what they do. Are they selling, you know, is Born to Run going to be on this car commercial? Is it going to be on this, you know, whatever? I mean, this stuff's already happening in real time anyways. So it's fascinating to me. It's really fascinating, but maybe the people are thinking, well, you know, rock music's never going to come back again. Could be. They could say, I don't ever see rock music coming back. That could be their thing. There hasn't been a big rock movement other than, you know, there's a progressive metal movement that's happened, but there hasn't been a big popular mainstream rock movement some people would argue it since grunge. I say since new metal, but in a long time. So maybe they're thinking, okay, there may never be that. We may never get this money again, so we're going to take the money. It's interesting. If I look at the Beatles, though, I always look at artists that keep their gear, right? I never hear of, Jimmy Page isn't selling any of his gear, right? When I went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I saw almost nothing from Led Zeppelin in there. I saw, there's just people that hang on to their stuff. All those Beatles guitars and everything, they haven't left the family as far as I know, right? So, anyways, that's my opinion there. I'd love to get your thoughts. Got my Beato holiday bundle is on sale between now and the end of the year. For those of you that missed the Black Friday sale and were emailing me about it, I got a lot of emails about it. It was a pain to deal with. I'm just kidding. That's great. I didn't say, oh, I'm going to bring it back, but I'm bringing it back this week. Christmas is in how many days here? 7 days. Is a week from today. And did I have any comments I'm going to read here? Somebody's like, who are we to say this? I saw that comment. Let's see here. Ad revenue goes to the corporations. Beatles were somebody says, Rick, rock is dead. I didn't say that, James Hetfield. I'm saying that they may be saying that to themselves. I don't know what they're saying. I mean, I don't begin to pretend to know what Bruce Springsteen says. I haven't even made a Bruce Springsteen video because one time I had Bruce Springsteen in a video and it got taken down. So I've never made a Bruce Springsteen video. And so, that's obviously the publishing thing for him. And I would not make another Bruce Springsteen video. Anytime I get blocked by someone, I don't make any more videos. So I need to say this. So Daniel Snook says Rick's metronome foot never takes a day off. Okay, I always tap my foot. Anybody notice I shake a lot? I've always done that. My dad did that, and I'll always do that. It's really hard to, and unless I taped my foot down. I'm not sure how I would even tape my foot down. So that's why I do that. In case people are always wondering, because I get comments all the time. Rick, go see a neurologist. Rick, go see a neurologist. Oh my God, it's unbelievable. Okay. I've got a click track foot too. I have GL, my old assistant, Ken, who worked with me forever. He and I both would bounce our left leg for some weird reason. I'd be sitting in the back of the control room. He'd be up engineering, right? And both of us would be shaking our leg like that at the same time. And bands would come in and they'd think, what is wrong with you guys? I just never noticed it. It's kind of like the time that I went and bought these Vans. And I said, oh, these are kind of cool looking shoes. And I came down to the studio. And then I realized that Ken, GL, and I were dressed exactly the same. Same t-shirt, same pants, same sneakers. And I was like, oh my God, that's why they look familiar, because he's wearing them. Then I had to go back and change. So there we go. Anyways, you guys are the best. BeatoHoliday.com, or is it holidays? BeatoHolidays, plural.com. Or you can go to my ear training, Beato ear training, or go to just rickbeato.com and it'll shoot you here to the Beato Ultimate Bundle. It's my ear training course, my transcription PDFs, my Quick Lessons Pro, my Beato book. It's all my teaching content I've ever done. The Beato ear training is 80 video lessons, hundreds of interactive modules, 27-page PDF booklet. My Beato book's 500-page PDF, music theory. Quick Lessons course is 5 hours of video content with tab and PDFs for every lesson, guitar profiles, and then my 90 transcription PDFs, which is like 200 pages or so of transcriptions. You can see them if you just go to the website and everything, and it shows you all that stuff. So anyways, you guys are awesome. I don't know if I'm going to come back on before Christmas. I might come back on one more time before Christmas here and say, hey, you guys are amazing. I really, really appreciate you being here. I've got some new video stuff coming out on Monday, and have a great weekend. All right, see you guys.